Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. This is a DETALKSCAST. This mic doesn't actually work. I'm putting it away now. Okay, so today's guest is Eric Joseph from Gtechniq. Eric, introduce yourself, please.
How's it going, everyone? Here on my official third webinar conference ever. So if I do weird things with my eyes, my hands, or anything else, I apologize in advance.
You know, that's nice. Okay. I think everybody is starting to become acclimated to this new environment where we all have our little meeting spaces and we do everything virtually, at least for the time being. So there's a lot of learning involved for some of us who avoided it for as long as possible. But I know some of us are veterans, like Levi here. He's been doing it for a while.
Well, thank you for not being outside like all day in Levi, because I would be freezing, but they look great.
Yeah.
I'm at the Serum Summit, so.
Did you go back in time?
2 years.
No, why aren't you guys here with me? No, I'm just here hanging out. I don't know where you guys are. Whatever, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm on top of Table Rock. Apparently, this was a picture I took when I took old Luke Berge up there. So,
good old Luke. Yeah.
And I'm
just in front of the fridge.
I'm actually a see-through ghost, so that's why you can't actually see me. But I'm here in spirit, literally. So,
well,
thanks, Dane. That was
spooky
for you,
ghost. Dane. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Without the details, can you just let the listeners know physically where you're located?
Yeah. Hey guys. So I'm currently sitting in my walk-in closet because, my roommate's mom is here, and normally I would sit at the kitchen table downstairs, but that is not an available area at the moment. So I had to hide in the closet, which is really awesome. Thanks everyone for being here with me.
Hence no video.
But big thing, I mean, walk-in closet. You're able to walk into it. Yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah, so I have enough room on the floor. I have my water bottle here. So I'm good to go. I'm doing fine. No complaints.
Okay.
Excellent. So
as I sneeze. Oh no, everybody run. Okay, yeah.
Did you touch your face?
I did not. I did this.
Oh.
So man, don't get
everybody paranoid. I came here wearing gloves today. Everybody saw it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you're sneezing on everything.
Wow, this is a great podcast. Way to derail it. Okay, so moving things along.
Want to say thanks to our sponsor, New Air Fridge back there with Dane, keeping those Diet Pepsis cold. Really great. Head on over to newair.com and pick up your very own with a $50 off coupon code Levi50 off. I don't know if it still works, but you can check it out.
You can try.
I appreciate that the plug is still going since I was in Boise last.
It needs to stop is what it needs to stop now. We've plugged it enough.
Yep.
All right.
So anyway, we just wanted to get together with Eric. We wanted to chat. It's been a few weeks since we last seen him. And it's weird when you go from spending like literally every week for almost a month with somebody to then like 6
being
weeks
by yourself.
Gone by.
It feels like it's been a year already. That's how long everything's just felt.
Amy just waved goodbye to everyone as he leaves for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a pretty good run before, quote, this situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of stuff on the docket for the summer that has been put on hold. So
yeah,
what's been going on in your neck of the woods down there in the South?
So, honestly, and this is nothing to do with the South, but being a Northerner, what I'm hearing out of New York is very different than what we're seeing down here in Georgia. So I wouldn't say it's business as usual in regards to the day-to-day. I will be proud to say that the past week, the social distancing and the stay at home has definitely been going on. I went to Home Depot on Saturday. It was a trip of necessity, and they had it. Everything was done beautifully. I made a post on Facebook, those of you I'm friends with, for a photo over there, and they had it all spaced out, and they did a really good job. I was surprised. Of course, everyone made comments on the post where they weren't seeing the same thing. So like you said, I think every area is different and is handling it different. I think we're lucky here in North Atlanta that they're handling it what I believe to be very well.
Good. Well, that's positive to hear because, for right or for wrong, you're hearing a lot of negative news right now, but there are a lot of people looking for at least some silver linings in all this, at least people either working together for a common goal or something along those lines. So it's good to hear when places are actually doing even the bare minimum steps to make this a little better for everyone.
Sure.
Yeah. We've been, I think I told you this morning, Eric, when I was chatting with you this afternoon, we had an earthquake yesterday. So
we did.
Cap it off.
That was last
6.5.
I was avoiding the Tiger series on Netflix.
Did it get you finally?
No, when you texted that. And I was like, even more reason to not watch Tiger Zoos.
I think you're going to need to, because, with earthquakes randomly happening and all this.
Who knows how much longer you'll be able to watch?
I mean, that show may be over, or you may not have Netflix anymore.
Well, what happened was because, Boise was so proud of not having a confirmed case for a couple of days. So they were like, boom.
Hey, we were the second to last.
Yeah, we almost made it.
We almost made it.
My stepmom said a joke that nobody was taking it seriously. So Idaho, in her own way, had to remind people to stay inside.
Yep.
So she had herself an earthquake because you're not supposed to go outside during an earthquake. So
while we're talking about positivity and second place, Morgan, shout out to Bucks legend in Madison, Wisconsin for placing second in Best of Madison and making a website to celebrate their success.
Wow.
That was quite the claiming of an achievement. That was really great.
I mean, the exact opposite of Ricky Bobby. Because as we all know, if you're not first, you're last. But Buck and Mitch, they took it and said, you know what, we're second, and that's great. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to Buck and Mitch.
Perfect.
Love it.
That makes you feel a little better.
We were saying, so business as usual, there's still shelter in place or stay-at-home stuff, social distancing. Have you noticed any change sales-wise or any change in the number of items that are going out?
Or the types of items that are moving.
Types of items have changed or, people are buying more of?
So, we won't get super deep into the cleaning of the virus, right? Because we all know that.
Right. We talked about that earlier today about how, there's a lot of incorrect thinking and claims out there. So
Gtechniq stands from the very early, situation here was that, cleaner's better, but really make no claims. And we really tried to keep our nose out of the rush to market. And with that said, it ended up working out pretty well. Our dry clean sales have increased dramatically.
I believe that, yeah.
And again, we work with companies like BioCoat, who they take care of the additives and that world, right? Because we are good at ceramic coatings. We're not an antimicrobial, antibacterial company.
Yeah.
So partnering with them is easy for us. And what I'm excited for is that when I first used that cleaner, it blew my mind at how good of a cleaner it was. So the fact that people are getting in their hands now and seeing the benefit of it, not only from the antimicrobial side of it, but also not getting trapped into the overhype of trying to sell something because of fear, because that's just how we roll. It's a kick, what product, and I think people are going to enjoy it. We honestly, like we spoke earlier, we haven't really seen a slowdown of sales, and I honestly, will it come? Maybe, but we've been seeing a lot of smaller, definitely do-it-yourself orders, which is exciting because people are like, you know what, I'm going to spend my time the right way and either learn something or benefit myself or someone I know, and that's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
No, that does make a difference. That is something we kind of talked a little bit about this morning. Was I mean, people are home, they got some spare time now, and they're wanting to do things maybe they didn't feel that they had time for before, or they're trying to learn a new skill. Maybe, hey, detailing, it's a good time to learn now or something. People are taking it upon themselves to do that, and YouTube's right there, and people are just kind of taking it, running with it. So
makes you feel good about all the work you guys have done over the last couple of years.
We weren't exactly preparing for this with this in mind, but at the same time, we're glad at least it's out there for people. So,
but it's funny because we also laugh now, Anthony and I, because we think about these products that we, because we get hit by everybody to sell stuff for them and bring these in, and you guys we would love to have you selling and repping for us. And there were two companies in particular that we kind of basically, like, one, we couldn't work out a deal margin wise. The other one was, we were just kind of like, man, I don't see how that's going to work for us. And yet now we look at it, we're like, man, we would have done really well had we had those. We could have sold the products very well. Like, they would have worked in this time of need where people are purchasing some of these cleansers and personal protection equipment. And so that was one of those things where we were just like, oh man, like, we never would have thought like that, we had started working on something like PPE for detailers, and that was just our plan, was like, maybe we can create some really nice stuff because I'm really into that stuff and I really want to try and get people to use it. So now it's kind of funny that PPE is getting such a blast in the
people
front
are paying
of what
attention
people need to do now.
It's unfortunate
like,
it takes a scenario like this for people to pay attention, but at the same time, people need to pay attention regardless. So that is a positive swing on it. I guess,
Anthony and I came in yesterday and did a bunch of orders. I mean, we built orders for folks because we've just been so busy. So a lot of people are buying from us. They're buying interior cleaners, tons of towels, brushes, and it's funny to see, like, for everything of, we got what was interior cleaner, all-purpose cleaner, and express will be going out, and then a pile of towels. It's crazy what people are planning on doing with their weekends now, or their weekdays, I guess.
Well, so, and from how we started this, right, with all the travel and everything, I mean, Levi, we were booked out to like into September pretty much.
Yeah.
And when I was leaving Boise last, I actually bought, because again, this is my third webinar, and I bought an actual calendar book, because I guess I'm just an old soul.
A planner,
you gotta write it down.
A planner, and it was, it's pretty big. It's over here somewhere. I should find it for you guys. But, I started filling it, and I realized I was living in that book. Yeah. And when this happened, like everyone else, I was a little worried, and I was kind of bummed, because I'm like, okay, well, X isn't happening and Y is not happening and all this other stuff, right? And then I was like, well, wait a minute, like, what have I not been doing? What have I been putting off? What in the business, in my personal life, across the board, really? And the past 2 weeks have been honestly really nice, because things have slowed down. So I've been able to reach out and talk to more people and get more of their stories and see, like, you guys, what's Georgia like? Well, I got off the phone today with, South Carolina, Ohio, and Tennessee. And for the first time in 2 weeks, they're all kind of similar. And it's all positive. It's all positive. Last week, Tennessee was dead. Ohio was booming. And now it's, they're all the professional shops that I talk with now, they're all starting to be like, we're really busy right now, simply because people don't need their car. So now so the people who were like, hey, dude, like, you can't have my car for 4 days. Like, I need my car. And the shops that aren't big enough to have a loaner or have a rental program, they're getting the calls now, like, you can keep my car until they say I can go back to work. So, there's, again, one door closes, another door kind of opens. A lot of guys are staying real busy with boats, because boats take a lot of time. And, you know, even All Seasons Detail in Idaho Falls called yesterday, and he's like, hey, I got all these boats to do. And I'm like, well, Juan, like, you're one Juan. So how are you going to do all these boats like by yourself? And he's like, well, all I got is time now. So, you know, can we build replicable business models right now? Probably not. But we can still stay busy and do some really positive stuff and learn and grow along the way.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of it too is we got to look for those of us with families and whatnot, is look at like, what are we doing now at home? Like, you know, I've been letting my wife sleep in every morning, you know, and I get up and I make breakfast for the kids and I do all the stuff right before we have our morning meeting. In the morning, we do our Zoom meeting. And so that's been, you know, kind of nice for her. She's actually enjoyed it. I still feel bad because it's like 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm like, all right, I'll be in the garage. And
you mean on Table Rock?
Yeah, on Table Rock here. But I'll you know, but at least the kids are ready to go. And she's like, that's actually been kind of nice. You know, last night I asked her just a personal question, was like, am I, you know, we got notified the schools are going to be out till the 20th of April. And so I'm looking at it going like, today's the 1st of April. We're going to have another 20 days with the possibility that they may close the schools down for the rest of the year, like other states are doing. So it's like, I literally looked at her, was like, is there anything that I'm not doing that you need me to do? Is there anything like, do you need a break? Like, what can I do for you as a husband and as a father to help make this situation where the 4 of us are going to be home more often, without the need, you know, without the potential to go like, oh, I'll take the kids to the museum or the park or do this stuff where they can't anymore.
Birthday parties.
Yeah, right. That too. Like, you know, it's like Hadley had a birthday party at our house and it was just us, and I think we had 1 or 2 neighbor kids.
Teleconference in, you know, a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Literally what we're going to have to do. That Augie's birthday is 27 days from now. So, you know, it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't see that being any different by then.
Yeah, it's going to be, he's going to have the same birthday as Hadley. So it is wild to think about what we can do. But I think it's kind of a neat time period where, like you said, Eric, like stuff's slowing down. You got time to really fix some stuff, work on some stuff, you know, maybe create a new plan or a model or something like that, you know. So, and like, for those of us, maybe play with new products.
And like, you know, I definitely, you know, I feel for those with the larger cases of anxiety, and I feel for those who have never really had that almost boredom, but you know, you have to find a way to get busy and keep yourself from yourself. And if that's staying off of social media, do it. You know, like just do. I mean, I tuned up my lawnmower. Now I'm super mechanical and super handy, and I have a million projects that I'm doing. But I got, when I bought my house in Georgia last year, I worked a deal for the ride-on lawnmower because Georgia's hot in the summer and I'm not pushing it. And the guy's like, yeah, I took care of it, all the service and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it never really impressed me. And I literally took like half a day. I pressure washed it. I did a quick, you know, OCD detail on it, changed the blades, did the oil, did the spark plugs, did the air filter, the whole 9 yards. And it was a different machine. And what was interesting was I realized how far I made myself slow down, because I wasn't checking my phone for emails. I wasn't looking at notifications. My phone was only playing music over the speaker. Like, it didn't mean anything to me. And when I cut the grass, it was actually, this sounds weird, but it was rewarding, because I was like, this is so much better now. Last year I would have half-assed it. I wouldn't have done the blades because it's a pain in the butt. And I would have been all over my phone. And then I wouldn't have cut the lawn for 2.5 weeks. And the whole thing would have sucked. So like, again, just find those little things that you're not doing and just take care of them.
Yep. Yeah. I like that.
Or just work in your closet if you have to, whatever's easy.
Hey, stop it.
Yeah. No, keeping yourself preoccupied, opening yourself up to like, oh, hey, I want to learn a new skill or something along those lines. Not a bad thing right now.
No.
I've learned to cook a lot of new recipes. I'll say that.
Okay. Like, do you have any examples of stuff you've been learning?
Well, obviously, because I'm a fan of roasted vegetables, I've kind of just been playing around with different combinations of veggies and like spices and stuff like that. And, I've gotten away from just olive oil and salt, and it's just been great.
Morgan, have you gone and bought some kosher salt?
No.
Or some pink Himalayan?
Yeah, pink Himalayan is the salt of my choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm currently using, and I feel pretty bougie with it. So
I hope it's out of a grinder, though.
Huh?
Like you have
you have a grinder?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, yep. Of course.
Also, I would try purchasing. I would get yourself some kosher salt. Change your life.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a delicious
Next
salt.
time.
Mm-hmm. And all
I want truffle salt.
That too. That would be good.
Boise Fry Company, shout out, but truffle fries.
They make you feel like you weigh 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, but Morgan, what's your thoughts on cauliflower? Have you been down the road?
I have, and I tried to make like cauliflower, like crispy cauliflower bites, and it really sucked.
You just got to keep trying, girl. It's worth the time. It's worth the effort.
Is it?
Yeah, that and this is weird coming from me because like webinars, Brussels sprouts were never my thing, but if someone can nail a crispy Brussels sprout.
No, Brussels sprouts, like I literally eat those daily.
Okay. So you're already on it. You already know.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Big fan.
Dane,
that's certainly something.
Dane, so Anthony and I were cleaning up the studio. So Eric, one of the things we've been doing here at the Rag Company is cleaning the studio, getting the old studio clean, moving everything over to the new studio. Dane, we noticed there's your polisher is there, your Rupes, and we thought, what a great time for you to teach yourself how to polish. You've got a black truck. We've got some products over there that you could take home with you.
It's a good time for it.
Skill. Yeah.
Where are we, Dane? Not to get too personal. Where are we with the off-road capable vehicle selection? Because you've been through a few, bud.
Oh yeah, we all know.
So what are we going to try to polish?
It's a Mazda B3000.
Okay. Yep.
Two-wheel drive. Yep.
Was this the wooden armrest or no?
Yes. Yeah. Wooden armrest. Yep.
Got it.
Go ahead,
Eric. You're an old mini trucker.
Yeah, 87 B2200 Mazda owner. Proud.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we would like to make Dane a mini trucker as well. We've talked about lowering packages, wheels and tires, perhaps a dancing bed kit. Not sure yet. But he does need to get the head gaskets replaced on the truck.
Okay, so I thought you dumped this one because of the head gaskets. So your worst.
No, I still got it.
Yeah.
I didn't try and sell it after all. I decided I was going to fix it.
Now, you know what's better in a Ford Mazda than a head gasket, right?
A new head or a new engine.
A 302.
Yeah. No, I hear you there. Yeah, throw a 5.0 in it and just.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
swap in an Explorer unit or something.
How much of the Thundercat is a Ford? You seem to like the weirdo Fords.
It's so weird. I grew up in a GM household, and I always considered myself a GM person. And for some reason, I've owned virtually nothing but Ford products in some form or fashion for the last. It's been a while since I sold my Element. It started with the C-Max, and then I've had the Volvo was technically a Ford when I had it. It was a V50, but it was at the time they're owned by Ford.
Was the block in the Miata a Ford?
It was a Mazda Ford collaboration unit. They did it in the 80s and stuff. It was used in like different things in the Escort and the 323 and stuff like that. And then it got put in the Miata. But yeah, I mean, that was Ford too. So yeah, no, basically lots of Fords except for that Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Which any Mitsubishi, I'd normally be like, keep it away. But man, I do love those third gen Monteros. That one just happened to be a real basket case. But
So
in general, they're cool trucks.
Eric, did we tell you that we went to the junkyard right after?
Oh yeah.
It was so. Remember, we went to go look at all the seats and all that stuff.
I wanted to go so
steering
bad.
wheels, right? We went after Dane, so we went and got all those seats for the color lock thing when you were here in February. We went back like the second week of March, so
the week
maybe
after
9 days.
sold.
9 days passed. 3 days prior, Dane had sold his Montero. Anthony and I go over with Jimmy and find a white and gold Montero with a brand new interior in it.
It was in perfect condition.
All the parts that were broken on Dane's, it had.
And they were like mint.
Had he waited, he probably wouldn't have gotten rid of that thing. He would have bought all the parts off of it.
I just think
so infuriating.
We were dying. We were crying. We were laughing so hard. So
and they're rare. You just don't see them.
No. Well,
all right, Anthony, what do you got?
Yeah, you've been quiet, man. This is weird.
Yeah.
No, I'm just listening. I'm just letting you guys kind of spitball off each other.
We're just having fun. We're just chatting.
Well, so I agree that now is the time to knock out a lot of small little projects and things like that you have around the house. So like last week, I pressure washed my grill and got it all cleaned up for obviously barbecuing and stuff like that. But it's funny. So it's like, how do I say this? I don't know if I'm just busy enough and I have enough things to do already in my normal daily life. But when I'm like, I see people's posts and they're like, oh, I'm so bored. I can't find anything to do. I've already finished these shows. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, I don't have enough time to do all the things that I would like to get done and do. And so like, I could probably realistically, I could probably take a month off of work completely and have things to do every single day of the month and still not get bored. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, well, when I have some free time, or if somebody has some free time, send it my way. I would love to be able to knock out more projects and stuff like that. And so like we're in the office right now. So today at work. Yeah. So, and I think during business and work hours, we're working. That's what we're doing. But even after work, I'm like, I don't have enough time to knock out this project or this project or this project. So I'm just kind of going with the flow, waiting for the weekend still, basically.
Well, I mean, you successfully painted a lip for that sweet Civic Si, and I mean that looked pretty sick.
It looks awesome in person, I gotta say.
Eric, yeah, you need to be here in person to see it and let Anthony tell you about it because it's stroke of genius.
And I mean, would you have stopped a regular week to do that? And the answer is probably no. You would have just wrote it broke.
No, those are my weekend. It's like I said, those are weekend projects. I have 50 weekend projects. I don't have enough time in the weekday to knock out the projects that I have and want to do. And so like, it's funny because Katie will always ask me, like, because she's like, do you ever have time to just sit down on the couch and not do anything? And I'm like, listen, I dedicated 7 hours of my life to Tiger King. And that was the most I've dedicated to TV since Game of Thrones. So I'm like, I got to keep going, man. There's other things I got to do. And so I feel weird playing Call of Duty for more than 30 minutes without doing something that needs to be done. And it's just, like I said, it's just strange. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just getting older.
I don't game and I don't binge watch TV. So I'm out there doing all that stuff. And I feel, like even now I'm like, maybe I should just like, I don't know, do like binge watch a show, but I just can't do it. It's weird.
Well, if you're going to pick one, make sure it's Tiger King.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been living through the Facebook post.
It's good, but it's not the same. You got to watch it.
Yeah,
it's pretty insane.
And of course, everybody, there's the hype and then there's the anti-hype. When everybody likes something, then you have to be like the hipster who hates it now. But the reality is it was just one of those things that organically people kept finding it and going, what the? what? And then it just progressively got, and they had to tell someone. So next thing you know, everybody's telling everyone. But
sure, and
yeah,
everyone
that's
like
one of
said,
those things.
They're bored. And the first thing I caught was I don't watch the news, and like when I mean I don't watch the news, I mean like ever. So like I don't know what teams are going to the Super Bowl. I'm lucky if I know who the president is, and I definitely don't know who.
You have 4 years to figure that out.
It doesn't. I'm weird, man. I'm weird.
All right.
I'm right there with you, though, man. I'm right there with you. I'm all
Anthony
about
is kind of like that.
Finally,
it's the best
finally,
way to live.
though, I've seen the split in the news. So I worked with a guy in a life past who was a diehard one side of what the news is talking about, and he was always, mother effing the other side and blah blah blah. And I never got it because I never lived it until this whole COVID thing happened. And I would read one post and be like, oh, like, whoa. And then I read another post and be like, wait a minute, that's the complete opposite of what that is. So,
and then you're like, wait, who's telling the truth here?
Yeah. Or are they both just completely full of it? Because it's just like,
what is becomes tribalism and a team sport thing.
Yeah. So they're
not actually looking at the facts and the details.
Those who I'm friends with on Facebook, look back last Saturday, you'll see the post. You'll see my life past, which we've kept secret forever, I feel like. You may be surprised, maybe you won't be. But that gentleman right there, he was in fact the one who was like, you just got to watch the news. And I'm like, I don't think so. So to this day, I still don't watch the news. I'm living through you guys and girls. And that's just what
well, we appreciate that we're able to bring this news to you.
live at almost 5.
Yeah.
There's enough sensationalism and drama just in detailing alone to keep anybody busy. So
that is the truth.
Well, you got to think about it, Eric. Like you said, like there are, the stuff that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, being in the companies that we're in and dealing with the product questions and the customer service and the everything else. A lot of it, for all of its intents and purposes, there are times when I drive home in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I drive home, I'm not listening to the radio. I'm not listening to music. I'm not I just need to not have just internet noise, so to speak. I just don't need, there's so much information, so to speak.
It's that raw sound of a V8, baby. That's all you need.
Oh my God.
8.1 liter.
The big
big 495 cubic inch or whatever.
So you don't
it helps a lot
at night going, what is the best microfiber towel?
Yeah.
When you go home, you're still just a regular person. So
the hard part is we get home and then there's our jobs don't end,
especially if you're a
messages. Yeah. Well, not only that, but then we get messages just like Dane, you get messages. But think about getting the questions you get, and Anthony getting the questions you get, Morgan the questions you get, Eric questions you get, and then add children on top of that.
Yeah.
And going, and you guys, let me just handle my kids. Let me get them taken care of. Let me get them put to bed. And then I will try to go back to work in theory, turning my brain back on to do work for a little bit. And then also hang out with my spouse and spend time with them, You
bring up a good point as always. And I think this is a perfect time to actually chat about this, right? If we were plumbers, right? So if Dane was the man of copper and Anthony was the PEX PVC guy, and Morgan just drove the van, right?
Yeah.
Do
getaway driver.
Do plumbers ever text a PVC glue company at 9:30 at night asking them how long to leave the primer on for?
No.
Nope.
So,
if they do, I've never heard of it.
Do they call the king of copper and ask, out of the 97 different versions of solder that you make, which one's the best? for these.
Whatever
pipes.
one you're using right now is the wrong one. You need to buy mine.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of ties it all together. And I think if you talk to a plumber, he doesn't want to talk plumbing after 5 o'clock. So he's
A
like,
lot of them don't.
he's like, no, I would never email. I don't even know. Anthony, can you Google a plumbing glue company? I would never even
plumbing glue company.
I would never even call that glue company after 5 p.m. because I want to go and do things with my family and spend the money that I made, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but it all goes back to this time right now where
it's a different dynamic.
You can really slow this down to the point of almost where it's calming. And I think the advice I can give people is if they do that, then maybe they'll find the answers that they're looking for that they haven't found in the last 6.5 years. Because, you know, for me, the past 6.5 years have been an absolute blur. I wouldn't change it for the world. But it is just, you know, it's just been like, every day I'm like, here we go again with problem X that hasn't been fixed. And it's simply because we've never stopped and taken the time to fix it because we've been too busy doing all the other things that we've all brought to the table. Again, not a bad thing, but not a great thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and and I think a lot of it, you know, you go back to, like, we had Bob Eichelberg on, and he talked about how back in the day with Flex, before the internet, his phone said, open these hours, leave a message. And that was it. Like, these are the hours I work. These are the times you can get a hold of me. Sorry.
If you don't catch me, leave a message.
Leave a message and I'll get back to you in the morning. And I think, you know, this whole system and setup where people are working from home and maybe they have this more time on their hands and they have this ability to slow down and look at other stuff and, you know, hopefully see that maybe it's, hey, I don't want to bother them. They're home, you know? So,
well, what about, let's just go one generation past Bob. I'm sure everyone's watched Founder, which if you haven't watched Founder, you need to. No plug, no paid endorsement there, but I mean, the days of the traveling salesman on payphones. So like, think of, okay, I have to be to this rag company place in Boise for a noon meeting, and I'm going to leave my house at 8 a.m. And if something were to happen, I have to find a payphone to call someone. You're not going to be interrupted that whole time. So imagine the focus and the work you can do. And again, it's not a bad thing. This is just the world that we've built. And you just got to find a way to navigate it.
Yeah. The expectations have been shifted a lot from, you know, the way bosses treat employees to the way customers interact with us. I mean, in a way we're reps and stuff. So people kind of expect you, oh, you're the guy. But the problem is they see you as the guy for that company. And that's the only like frame in which they see you. So all the stuff about you being a human and having other things going on in your life are just totally isolated out of that entirely. You're just that company guy. So, of course you have time because I'm a customer of said company and you're the guy I need to ask a million questions. And once again, not bad mouthing that, not saying it's wrong, just saying it may take a little time to get back to you in some cases if there's a lot of you doing that.
And again, you know, I think, and this is going to get a little too deep and a little too psychoanalytical, but that's what I do.
That's what I love. Yeah, sign me up.
if you want to join a profession, if you want to build a professional business and you want to be looked at as that, you know, don't send an inquiry at 2:45 in the morning.
Right.
For real. Like, because when we read it, well, what are you doing up at 2:45 in the morning? So like
before anything you say, you're just looking at the timestamp going, really? I know you're in New Jersey. You're not in Denmark right now.
So like if you want to buy stuff through an automated system, it's a different story. But you know, just think about what you're doing. So it's like, okay, well, I can't sleep because I have all these great thoughts in my head. Reaching out and trying to just like throw things at those thoughts is not a productive way to move forward. You need to figure that out. And again, it's one of those things where, 2:30 in the morning is not the email time. It's not. Shout out to Pepsi, coming from the land of Coca-Cola. They're not sending emails out at 2:30 in the morning. And, it's just not that it's not right, but like, it's just kind of not right. Figure out better ways to spend your time.
Yep. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's different for, technically we get to work from home, but we haven't been working from home. Like, we're still coming in, we're still working, we have work that is needing to be done. So I think it feels different for, I know Anthony.
We were in a period of construction here. So that's been kind of the difficult thing, is like, we have this time. If we don't do these things, it's not like we have construction workers doing this all for us. No, we're the ones assembling a lot of this stuff in our new studio and things like that. And if we don't do it, it doesn't get done. And with the way things are going right now, it's in our best interest to try and have that ready as soon as possible.
Well, and it's giving us the capability to do that, having this time to do this, because otherwise we'd be spending our time, writing emails to other companies that are currently also sheltered in place, working from home, that aren't really, needing stuff. So it's kind of shifted the focus of what kind of business are we doing? What kind of business are we needing to do? So, we're still able to handle customer service 100%.
And I should point out,
and our shipping team is still being able to get all the orders out,
This was an interesting turn, and I'm sure you guys and lady in the closet have seen it also. The Amazon delays. So we've had more than a few customers reach out and say, and again, no disrespect if you were one of them, we did not actually say this, but we were like, okay, like, what do you mean you can't figure out how to buy it? But the customer was so Amazoned that they didn't know there was multiple ways or even better ways to buy it. And it wasn't until Amazon was 11 days out and they needed it that they were like, wait a minute, like, how do I get this? So
you have a web store? Yeah.
So again,
kind of stuff happens.
Going from founder, whenever that was, before me and the other old guy on this were born, to now, Levi, 6 years ago, it was, the e-commerce websites were new. And now consumers are like, what's a website? I just go to Amazon. So it wasn't until this happened that they were introduced to these very powerful tools that are full of information and, and other avenues. And, I think the individuals were pumped.
We don't put all that time and effort into a web store and a website for window dressing. It actually has to serve a purpose. So we hope more people use it and not just, go to the obvious hub, where in some cases you may be paying more for stuff over there than you would if you just went to said company's website. I mean, oftentimes.
So interested to see how this is going to turn out. Interested to see, honestly, what's going to happen and maybe because I'm shopping a little bit, but what's going to happen in the car sales space.
Oh yeah. No, I've been getting a few calls from some dealerships I visited like a couple of months ago, looking around at potentially trading in the Mitsubishi back then and getting something else. And now they're calling like, we have deals. We got lots of deals. Come on.
84 months, 0%.
Oh, it's madness. Like
no
zero down.
30 to 60 no days. 0 down. I mean, so it's not.
With that said, a very good friend of mine will tell you, take the rebate. Do not take the 0%. Do the math.
Right, because they're going back on it.
But he said all day, there's more value and you're going to get a better deal taking the rebate. I'm not a pro, but I'm looking. So that's what he told me. But back to detailing, I'm just curious, like, if the brick and mortar dealership does start to leave, and I'm not going to name some of the kiosk car sellers right now, but it got me thinking, like, well, where are they going to detail cars?
Yeah.
Like, let's put these fancy kiosks up places, but like, are there just going to be these massive hubs of detailing getting put around the country to get these cars cleaned? And are they going to finally focus on proper interior cleaning and protection? So that's going to be interesting to see how this all comes.
Well, if the laws eventually shift and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised to see more direct sales kind of environments and stuff in some states, at least, you know, the Tesla model, all that kind of thing, starting to take hold a bit more, because people do like that kind of buying experience. For a certain subset of the population, they prefer that. And, you know, you see like Carvana and all these other businesses and stuff kind of picking up that model, even advertising now in this situation, like, hey, you know, you don't even have to talk to anybody, you buy it online and there it is, you know, that kind of thing. And that's appealing to a lot of people, is just not having to do the haggling or any of the other parts of the experience that people have considered a traditional model forever.
But, you know, it does. It brings me back to the Amazon thing, though, not to get too deep.
Yeah.
But it does, you know, you do have to wonder about the robbing Peter to pay Paul. So if they start closing down these brick and mortars, is there enough call center tech work for the labor pool to be employed? And, you know, what does the customer experience end up like? Because I'll tell you this, I'm not going to buy a car and have to call a call center like when my laptop breaks, and I have to call an out-of-country call center for that. So,
well, and who wants to work in a call center right now? Like, that's a situation that that's not a great place to be right now.
No, it's not. And you know, who's going to finally clean those places right? I don't know.
Yeah. No, very, very good points.
All words to live by.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far, but you know.
Well, wash your hands, folks. Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, Dane.
All right. So
take us home.
I'll ask Tim. I'm curious where we are time-wise.
5 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, okay. That's it, because I didn't see a clock on here. That helps. Okay.
Yep,
So,
3 o'clock on the nose.
Eric, if you wouldn't mind doing a little plug here while you're here, of course, we want to give you a chance, share your website, your personal pages.
Yeah. So as you can see behind me, though it is completely fake, this is our Gtechniq Work Center in England. So the website is the same, though, www.gtechniq, again, company with a Q.com. Check us out. Let us know if you have any questions, and we look forward to the next one.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure you're subscribed here on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. And until next time, see you later. Adios.
See you guys. Thanks, Eric.
You got it.